Zone 4, Stamford, the regular season champions of their zone, and the number 3 seed, Hamden, the Western Division Zone 2 champions. At this time, we'll announce starting lineups, reserves, coaches, and umpires, and then we'll read the creed, and then we'll have the national anthem. First for Hamden, number 4, Matt DeRoche. Number 7, Zach Hazen. Number 9, Jake Mashaud. And number 11, Brendan Kirk. Your starting lineup for Hamden: at shortstop, number 8, CJ Casilius. In left field, number 3, Cullen Florio. The center fielder, number 28, Jake Paisano. The third baseman, number 1, Tyler Osborne. The first baseman, number 44, Henry Beelan. The pitcher, number 31, Ryan Doherty. In right field, number 18, Julian Vivenzio. The catcher, number 24, Ronnie DeRoche. And at second base, number 2, Mike Aceto. Coaches for Hamden, Ray Guarino, R.J. Volker, and Joe Cofrancisco. And now for Stamford. Number 3, Ethan Anderson. Number 6, Chris Candido. Number 10, Mike Berlingo. Number 11, Jake Benner. Number 16, Dylan McMorrow. Number 25, Jake Lockwood. And number 28, Grant Purpura. At second base, number 7, Noah Skog. The shortstop, number 5, T.T. Wainwright. The catcher, Joseph Scarad. The right fielder, number 2, Anthony Giswaldi. The first baseman, number 37, Joe Gambino. The designated hitter, number 14, Shane Hackett. At third base, number 23, Matt Weirs. The center fielder, number 8, Robert Cribben. In left field, number 4, Jaden Dawkins. And pitching for Stamford, number 1, Matt Tiplady. Coaches for Stamford, Kevin Murray, Rich Tremboli, Bill Foglio, and Mike Summa. Your home plate umpire, Bill Halflin. At first base, Jim Lucheski. And at third base, T.J. Duguay.
How we doing, gentlemen? Congratulations for making it. All right, repeat after me. I will keep the rules, keep faith with my teammates, keep my temper, keep myself fit, keep a stout heart in defeat, keep my pride under control, victory, keep a sound soul, a clean mind, and a healthy body. Good luck to both of you.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion. We're veterans serving America.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome right here to Seppert Field in Meriden, Connecticut, as we settle in for the 2019 South Super Regional between Hamden and Stamford. Later on, got a good one between Naugatuck and Cheshire. That game scheduled to start around 4 o'clock. There were beautiful skies up above. It was clear as could be, but now the clouds have rolled in, and a very refreshing breeze here in Meriden, and perhaps a threat of rain may be coming our way. So Stamford and Hamden should be a good one, as Hamden coming in out of the Zone 2 regular season with a 20-6 record out of the Western Zone 2 post-88. Stamford out of Zone 4 Northwest Division at 21-3. We're just about set to get it going as Matt Tiplady is on the mound, and the left-hander to get the start here today for Stamford. And I believe there might have been a roll of thunder just a moment ago. Plate umpire has moved away from home plate. Let's see what it's all about here. Plate umpire going over, talking to public address announcer. Could have been something that just rumbled through the sound system, but we'll get off to a start here in a moment. Gives us a chance to set the batting order for Hamden. C.J. Caselius will play shortstop and lead things off. Cullen Florio, the left fielder, the bat second. Jake Pisano, the center fielder, hitting third. And Tyler Osborne in that cleanup spot. He'll play third base. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Henry Beelan. And the pitcher, Ryan Doherty, hitting sixth here today. The right fielder is Julian Vivenzio. He'll play right field. You got Ronnie DeRoche behind the plate, hitting eighth, the catcher. And Mike Aceto, the second baseman, to hit ninth. They continue with the conversation. Now the umpires all getting together. It'll be interesting to see what the decision might be. I don't know if there was some lightning in the background or not. The weather forecast was very desirable here today. Well, they're going to play some baseball, so here we go. So all that speculation going by the board. So Tiplady ready to go. You got Scarrad behind the plate, Big Joe. Joe Gambino at the bag at first. Noah Skog is your second baseman. T.J. Wainwright at shortstop, and the game's first pitch is in there for the strike call. Matt Ware's the third baseman. Jaden Dotkins in left field. Center fielders Robert Cribben and Anthony Caswaldi in right field. And that ball driven by Caselius in the center field for a base hit. So he takes a second pitch of the game and drives it into center field, and a leadoff runner now for this Hamden team. They could be the sleeper in this tournament despite having such a wonderful year during the regular season. They have a deep pitching staff, guys that can hit the baseball. Of course, Cheshire the team perhaps to beat overall in the eyes of many playing out of this Super Regional. There's a pop-up and a tremendous catch made. Scarad on a bunt attempt by Florio just made a spectacular play. Hopefully it was in your GoPro view, but that thing was a beautiful play. He broke quickly from behind home plate. On the dive, made the play behind home. So Florio retired on a pop-up in the foul territory on the bunt attempt to the catcher, and that was spectacular. We put a star next to that. You're not going to see anything better at all. He kind of juggled it and held on to it. So Pisano to the plate with a runner at the bag at first, and the pitch to the plate is down low for a ball. Pisano, the center fielder, big, strong hitter, has a home run on the season. He can certainly clear the fences. Covers a lot of ground in center field defensively, too. And Tiplitty's pitch is hit high in the air to the center fielder. Cribben will come on, and he'll make the catch on a casual fly ball. So you have two down, and brings up Tyler Osborne, the third baseman. So perhaps the best athlete on the team is Osborne, as he comes in to hit in that cleanup spot. Another guy with some power, has some good speed, terrific arm when he throws it across the diamond. I'm sure you'll see that at some point here today. And the pitch from Matt Tiplitty is down low for a ball. So here in the early going, got a runner on first with two down. We'll try to keep score the best we can doing this alone, and I'm not the best at it. So there you go. The pitch is up high. And the count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Outfield playing just about straight away. Middle infielders are back with 2 down. Celius with a lead away from the bag at first. The left-hander's pitch to the plate, tried to twist one over, and the curveball missed. Count goes 3-0. Beelan in the on-deck circle for Hamden. Here in the top of the first inning. 7-inning affair here today. Tiplitty's left-handed fastball throws it down the middle of the plate for this automatic strike call. And the count goes 3-1. Of course, Steve Riley and company they are calling baseball. That pitch down low on a stolen base. But Casellia says he got off to a great jump and throw was very tardy. And actually came on ball 4 to Osborne, so it was down low as we mentioned. So that's why they didn't throw it. So no stolen base. He got 2 on. At first and second with 2 down and a big chance for Beelan here. And, yep, there you go. Looks like Stamford coming off the field. There was a roar of thunder, and now we go into a delay. What this will do is going to be a 30-minute delay because they did spot some lightning in the difference. So we're going to have a 30-minute delay here, and we are going to leave our equipment set up or not. I'll make that decision. If we break away, we'll reformat things for you, and we'll get you back. We'll get you back to the live action. But that's not going to be for another half an hour, folks, as we are in a lightning delay here at Supper Field in Meriden. All right, right back here at the SEPA Field in Meriden. The skies are beginning to clear after a lightning and thunder threat rolled through the air. Just a sprinkle of rain. Certainly did not cause any mishaps on the field. Still clean, dry, and gorgeous looking here at SEPA Field. We're in the top of inning number 1, and they'll resume play in just a moment. Just to recap things for you here in the top of the first inning. For Hamden, Casilius singled to start the ball game. He's now down at the bag at second. Cullen Florio attempted a sacrifice bunt, popped it up, and Scarad made a terrific play behind home plate going out after that foul ball and made a diving, juggling catch. So that retired Florio with no advance of Casilius. Then Pisano with a fly ball out, lazy fly to center, and then Tyler Osborne, the cleanup hitter, just walked before the delay. So with 2 out, there is 2 on for Hamden, and Matt Tiplety is out in the mound, and he's going through his warm-ups right now for Stamford as we're just about set to resume play here today. Of course, the Stamford team certainly has been a team that has played some terrific baseball. It was originally under the direction of Chris Sabia. Of course, Chris unfortunately passed away just a couple of short years ago. He is certainly missed, and they play in honor of Chris each and every game. They certainly have done a magnificent job in his honor throughout the years here, and they're trying to continue that. So certainly a tough subject to talk about, but so Tiplety, who's out on the mound, graduated recently from Stamford High School. He's 5'11", 150 pounds. And he'll be facing Henry Beelan, the first baseman, when we resume play here in just a moment. So nice to have you with us here on SportingNewsCT.com. As they in the top of the first inning with 2 out and 2 on. Beelan will be stepping up to the plate in just a moment. There is still a light sprinkle. As we're just about set to resume play right now, the umpiring crew talking to the Stamford and the Hamden coaching staffs as we speak. Really like the makeup of this Hamden team and what they might be able to do. Of course, Kevin Murray is the head coach of Stamford. Ray Garino, the manager of Hamden, and certainly fighting his own battle right now with cancer and doing well and hasn't missed a game despite chemotherapy, and his team is playing in his honor right now, being motivated by his strength, his reserve, and we all send our prayers out to Ray and his family and what he has done as we're just about set to start play, although Stamford now coming back off the field for a moment, and they're going to wait another 30 minutes. Okay, so perhaps another lightning strike in the area, although the skies are clearing up above us. But if there is a threat of lightning, they certainly, by rule, will go into another delay. So we'll go into another delay. We'll just sit here. We'll leave the stream going for you and come back in a half an hour. All right, welcome right back here to SEPA Field in Meriden, Connecticut for the third time. We try to get this game going here. We've had 2 weather delays for a sighting of lightning and some rumble of thunder. Skies remain clear above the field here at SEPA Field. Of course, that is a rule really across all sports now for the safety of the players and the fans, and that's certainly a great rule. You never know when lightning will strike, and we're getting back to the action in a moment here. Tipoledi is out in the mound, and he continues to go through some of his warm-ups as Henry Beelin will step up to the plate. There was no count on Beelin when the teams were summoned to their respective dugouts. Stamford on the third base side and Hamden on the first base side as a visiting team. So you got 2 on and 2 out. Caselli is singled to get on to start the ball game after unsuccessful sacrifice bunt that was popped up and caught by the catcher. Gerard on a beautiful play. Pisano then hit a fly ball out. Osborne walked, so you got runners at first and second with 2 down here as we now finally move on to yet another batter here in the top of the first. It's been the longest first inning I've ever been a part of. It's been over an hour thus far. So Beelin awaits. Tipoledi's pitch is going to be punched high up into the air and fouled off towards the right field side. There are stands on the first and third base side, so if you do come out to watch some of the super regional play here at SEPA, or of course the state championship series, which takes place over next weekend, you can certainly do that. Don't bring a cooler. They have a nice concession stand here. Tipoledi's pitch, and that missed outside. The count goes to 1 ball and 1 strike. Ryan Doherty, the pitcher today for Hamden in the on-deck circle. Scarrad behind the plate. Gambino down the bag at first. Skog is your second baseman. Wainwright at shortstop. Weir's at the bag at third. And there's a curveball, big swing and a miss. Dawkins in left, Cribben in center. Gaswaldi is the right fielder defensively. For Stamford in the home white uniforms here today with a powder blue cap, sharp-looking uniforms. Of course, Hamden in their familiar green and gold. Here comes the pitch. Missed outside. And the count goes level at 2 balls and 2 strikes to Beelin. Beelin can hit the ball a long way. Last year they had a portable fence here at SEPA Field. Now they have a true blue. Beautiful fence in the outfield. Field in great condition. Grounds crew is always here at SEPA Field working their tails off to put this into championship form. Here comes the lefty's pitch, and that's batted foul towards the Stamford dugout. And, Kevin Murray still got it. Pretty good ball player in his day. Racing off the bucket he was sitting on to make a nice catch over there. Got it back to the plate umpire. Of course, Hamden representing Zone 2, Stamford Zone 4. Both these teams had to battle their way through an extra game in pod play to make it here. Had to go to distance. Tipoledi's 2-2. Up a little high. Good eye there by Beelin on a pitch that was close, and the count goes full 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. The outfield playing just about straight away. Middle infielders are back and relaxed. Runners will lead from the bags at first and second. They're off with a pitch, and that's fouled to the backstop just under our GoPro. 6 feet higher, our broadcast day might have been over. I do not have a backup GoPro. They have to bring a half dozen with me like they do baseballs. Tipoledi, the graduate of Stamford High School. From the belt, 3-2 pitch, runners off, and that pitch is going to be fouled off to the right. It was a pitch up high, and Beelin, protecting the strike zone, fouled it off. Well, the fans hung around. Actually, we got a few more to come our way, which is great news. So the count remains full, 3-2 with 2 on. Runners at second and third here in the top, first and second in the top of the first inning. Here comes a pitch. Runners again off, and that's fouled straight back. Beelin putting up quite a fight here in the top of the first inning, trying to catch up to that Tipoledi fastball. Can hear the encouragement coming from the first base dugout. Curveball dropped in there for the strike, and Beelan knew it. He got fooled on that as that just crossed the outside part of the plate. A beautiful pitch. First strikeout for Matt Tiplity here in the ball game, and Hamden will go quietly. No runs. You had the one hit. There were no errors and 2 left on base. We'll be back with a bottom of 1. We're underway here at Seppa Field in Meriden.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion. We're veterans serving America.
All right, welcome right back here to Seppa Field in Meriden, Connecticut. We'll set the batting order for Stamford as they come to the plate for the first time out of Zone 4, Northwest Division, 21-3 record. Noah Skog will lead things off, the second baseman. Hitting second, T.J. Wainwright, the shortstop. The catcher, Joe Scarrard, will hit third, and Anthony Caswaldi in the cleanup spot. He is a right fielder today. Batting fifth, the first baseman, Joe Gambino, and sixth, the designated hitter, Shane Hackett. Hitting seventh will be the third baseman, Matt Wires, and Robert Cribben, the center fielder, hitting eighth. Jaden Dawkins, a left fielder, will bat ninth here today. Tiplity obviously not batting as he's being hit for Stamford. Setting the defense for this Hamden team, it's Ryan Doherty out in the mound. He wears number 31. Ron DeRoche behind the plate. Henry Beelan at first base. Second baseman is Mike Aceto. C.J. Caselius is at shortstop, and manning third with a strong arm is Tyler Osborne. Cullen Florio in left field. Jake Pisano, the center fielder, and Julian Vivenzio in right field defensively as we get ready for the bottom half of inning number 1. Lefty on lefty today. Out on the pitcher's mound. The first pitch from Doherty. Down low. He had a nice win over Naugatuck. Matter of fact, I should say, I'll correct myself on that in a second. Naugatuck playing here today. There's a ground ball hit down to Aceto. Bobbled it a bit. Recovered on to Beelan at first. And Skago hit it pretty good as retired 4-3. So you have one down.
The shortstop, T.J. Wainwright.
It's going to bring up T.J. Wainwright, the shortstop. So Wainwright coming to the plate with one down. Scarrard in the on-deck circle. Wainwright graduated from West Hill High School 2019. And the pitch, Wainwright hits it high in the air to the center fielder. Wind blown a tad, and Paisano will go back and make the catch over the shoulder, floating away from home plate from our perspective, and you have two down.
The catcher, Joseph Scarrett.
So Scarrett will come up to the plate now, the catcher. Joe graduating from King School. He's up with the bases empty and two down, and Doherty looking for a quick 1-2-3 inning here in the bottom of the first. Nobody on with two out. Pitch down low. Outfielders playing just about straight away. Pisano rather deep in center from our perspective. That's a strike call over the outside corner, so Doherty quickly earning the outside part of the plate. The count goes 2-1. Garrard, the catcher, swinging from the right side. Middle infielders are back, and the offering. That just missed, down low. Count goes to 3-1. Cleanup hitter Giswaldi in the on-deck circle for the Stamford team. Pitch fouled straight back. Southington leading Waterford at last report in South Windsor at Rotary Field in the North Super Regional. Of course, Southington, the defending Connecticut state champion. And the 3-2 pitch, down low, ball 4. First walk issued by Doherty here today comes in the first inning. And it brings up Giswaldi.
The right fielder,
Giswaldi,
Anthony Giswaldi.
the right fielder today for the Stamford team. Giswaldi from Gettysburg College. Went to Stamford High School, I believe, and graduated in 2018. Quickly gets behind in the count, 0-1 on a good pitch from Doherty. Doherty lefty. Curveball hangs high, and the count goes level at 1-1. So you got a runner at first with 2 down. Doherty hangs that left arm down, likes the sign from DeRoche. Checks the runner. He'll throw to first, and scurrying on back is Garrard. Don't have any stats on this Stamford team. We'll learn their tendencies as we move along with 2 outs. Hamden just content to keep the runner tight to the bag at first. Beelan still at the bag, trying to hold the runner there. Doherty's coming to the plate, and the pitch down low. So the count goes 2-1 after 2 easy outs, or quick outs, I should say. Not always easy to get an out. Doherty has walked about it, now behind the hitter, Giswaldi. And there goes the runner, and the pitch, swing and a miss, and no throw by DeRoche. Good jump there by Garrard. He steals the base in the scoring position. Now Giswaldi with a base hit could quickly give Stamford a 1-0 lead. They needed the if game to eliminate North Haven at Cubetta Stadium just the other day. Here's the pitch to the plate, and that's going to be driven into left field for a base hit, chased down by Florio. They're going to send the runner home, and the throw will go to the bag at second, and Stamford with a 2-out RBI single by Anthony Giswaldi has a 1-0 lead. Garrard scoring rather easily from the bag at second.
The first baseman, Joe Gambino. First base, number 37.
He missed it.
So 2 down and a run home. They appeal. Did Garrard hit the bag at third when he rounded it there? And umpires say he did. So Joey Gambino to the plate. So that stolen base comes up big time, something Hamden did not want to allow to happen, and they stole a base on a lefty. So it's Garrard doing a nice job there, reading the pitcher's tendencies. Now they'll throw over to first with a little authority, because Waldy able to get back quickly. 1-0 here in the bottom of the first inning. Stamford with the lead. On deck is Shane Hackett, the designated hitter. There's a swing and a miss. Lefty on lefty here. Gambino recently graduated from West Hill. Overmatched there on the fastball, and the count goes 1-2. Double elimination Super Regional Tournament. So if you lose today, you come back in the losers bracket tomorrow, and it's an arduous task to lose on day one and fight your way back into a championship position. You got to be perfect. Team that wins today and tomorrow will be in the driver's seat with a day off, resting pitching staff and players and the like. Doherty's pitch up high. Doherty's struggling to find that strike zone with consistency behind the hitter, Gambino. 3 balls and 2 strikes. He's already walked a batter who has scored in the inning. That pitch fouled off. Gambino was going. Florio, the left fielder, made a terrific catch in a decisive win for Hamden in pod play. Rather deep and straight away left field. Pisano, the center fielder. Here's the offering. 3-2 pitch, swing and a miss, and he struck him out. First strikeout of the ball game for Ryan Doherty, but Stamford does the job with 2 down. They take advantage of a walk and a stolen base, and they produce a run. 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. We'll be back with the top of inning number 2, and Stamford has the 1-0 lead over Hamden through 1. Stay with us right here on SportingNewsCT.com as we bring you more baseball right after this.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
but most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
You're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
You also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
All right, welcome right back. Ryan Doherty up to the plate for the first time here for Hamden, trying to help his own cause. Stamford scored a run the bottom of the first. Doherty coming in with 8 RBIs in the season, 288 average. It's a ground ball in the first pitch. The second, Skog makes the play, went to his right nicely, and Doherty retired for 1 down. 4-3 if you score at home, and for Tiplety, that's an easy out.
Julian Vivenzio.
Vivenzio now stepping up to the plate, the right fielder. He'll try to ignite some offense here for Hamden. They have 1 base hit in the ball game. Tiplety's pitch is up high. Cribb in the center fielder is straight away. Dawkins in left straight away, and Gaswaldi, the right fielder, also straight away. Gambino wears at the corners, just about even with the bag. Wears now inside the bag at third. Middle infielders are back. Here comes the 0-1 down low. They'll appeal. Did he go around? They say no. Tiplety peeks over the glove. Tall, lanky lefties pitch to the plate. Popped up behind home plate. Count is at 2 balls and 2 strikes as they adjust the scoreboard here at Seppa Field. Vivenzio awaits, and the pitch up high, and the count goes full 3-2. DeRoche in the on-deck circle, the catcher here for Hamden. That's batted foul, third base way. One down, nobody on. Count is full, 3-2. Here's the pitch. Fouled off again, right towards us. That's another pitch fouled off. Staying alive. Vivenzio, good job at the plate. One down, nobody on. Tiplety working quickly, loses them. That's ball 4. About eye high. Second walk issued in the game by Matt. And it brings up to the plate DeRoche. So Ronnie DeRoche will step in with one down and one on. And Hamden trying to get something going here. DeRoche got a good arm behind the plate. Although Stamford did steal a base back in the first, and it set up an opportunity on the 2-out RBI base hit by Waldy, and that's where we stand here in the top of inning number 2. The 1-0 to DeRoche. That's a strike call inside corner. Count goes level at 1-1 strike, and Scarad wants to come out and have a quick chat with Tiplety. Very short-lived. So they got an even count, 1-1 strike, 1 down and 1 on. Out of town, last report, defending champs, Southington with a 2-1 lead over a good Waterford team. That game deep into the 5th inning. 2 to be played out at Rotary Field today, and South Windsor will have coverage of both of those. Here's the lefty's pitch. That's going to be fouled straight back. Hamden beat Washington. They had to go to the distance to do that. And it would finally come to me as I work off an old memory here. Good battle here between pitcher and batters. DeRoche, the right-handed hitter, leveling the count with Tiplety. Tiplety's pitch, and he struck him out. He broke that hard down over the outside corner. Looked like a slider there, and DeRoche caught looking. Second strikeout of the game for Matt Tiplety. And brings up a number 9 hitter, Mike Aceto. He also pitches for this Hamden team. He's up here for the first time today. Aceto, the number 9 guy in the lineup. Aceto batting at .313 with 9 RBIs in the season. And that hit him. So the first pitch too far inside. First hit batter of the game by Tiplety. Now you got 2 on.
The shortstop, C.J. Casillas.
With 2 out here in the inning, and Casillas atop the order. He singled the straightaway center field his first plate appearance. We'd like to duplicate that. Vivenzio down at the bag at second with a short lead away. Wainwright was playing games with him there at shortstop, trying to entice him to move closer back to that bag at second. Now he does it again. Tiplety takes a look at the runner at second base. Here's the pitch, and it's way up high. Tiplety right now overthrowing a tad. 2 on without the benefit of a base hit here for Hamden in the top of the second inning. A walk and a hit batter. They had 2 on back in the first. Tiplety, the pitch, curveball. Got the strike call over the outside corner. The count goes even at 1-1. So he's got the curveball, bit of a slider. Used that beautifully to strike out DeRoche. Tiplety looking in for the sign. Again, he'll check the runner down at the bag at second, and the pitch, and that's driven into right field for a base hit. Waldy will charge it, and they're going to hold the runner at third with a throw. Coming in the home. Scarad to field it there. Not a bad throw by Waldy. A little offline to the first base side, but no harm done there. And 2 for 2 is Casillas now. Got the bases loaded with 2 out, and Florio, who failed on a sacrifice bunt his first time, up with a chance to tie the score here. So with 2 out, he got 3 on for Hamden, and that's going to bring Coach Murray out to the mound to talk to Tiplety. Remember, he has walked a batter and hit a batter here today. He's walked 2 overall, so the strike zone has not been consistent for him. He does have the strikeout pitch with 2 strikeouts. Florio, a left-handed hitter, up in a big situation here. Comes in batting at just .256 with 11 RBIs. He's got 21 hits. They're all singles in the season for Florio. And the pitch, ground ball, hit slowly, charge. Wainwright's going to go across the diamond and got it there to Gambino in plenty of time to end the threat. So Hamden puts 3 on, but they come up empty. That's twice now here in this contest already. They have left runners in scoring position. No runs. You had the 1 hit. There were no errors, and 3 left on base. They have stranded 5 thus far. We'll take a break, back with more right here on SportingNewsCT.com.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
All right, welcome back as we move on to the bottom of inning number 2. Ryan Doherty making his 9th appearance, his 8th start for Hamden, coming in with a mark at 6 wins and no losses. He's behind 1-0 here, and he's facing Shane Hackett, the designated hitter, number 6 hitter in the lineup for the Stamford team, and quickly gets ahead, does Doherty, 0-1. Doherty roaming around. Actually, the count goes 2 balls and no strikes. They change the scoreboard again out in left center. I'm relying on that scoreboard here today. That pitch is in for the strike, so I guess I knew there was one coming. Count goes 2 balls, 1 strike to Hackett. Hackett trying to ignite some more runs here for Stamford. Foul tipped into the catcher's mitt, and the count goes even at 2-2. Slow curveball hit the third, fielded there by Osborne, and he'll just lob it onto the bag at first to Shane Hackett for the out. 5-3 if you score at home, so the leadoff batter retired. You get 1 out.
Third base.
Brings up Weirs at the plate. Here in the bottom of the 2nd inning, Weirs up for the first time. A student at the University of Bridgeport. Graduate from high school in 2018, and that's fouled off. So Weir's a good addition to this Stamford lineup here in 2019. Good size at 5'11", 175. Can play shortstop, second base, and pitch today. Playing third, so I guess he can do that too. Count goes 1-1. 1 out, nobody on. Stamford collected their run in the first on a key 2-out base hit by Gesualdi. Ball hit very high up into the air. Going to the outfield grass. Shortstop is out. Left field, a long run, and Cullen Florio did a nice job to hunt that down.
The center fielder, Robert Cribben.
So Weir's retired.
Center field, number 8.
And I have 2 out in the inning, and here comes Cribben to the plate. His dad, a baseball umpire, and known him for quite some time. Also, a pretty good video guy. That's some nice stuff with video. And the pitch, big swing and a miss by the left-handed hitter. Bobby Cribben, 5'10", 150, out at Indiana University. Graduated from high school in 2018. Nice off-speed pitch over the inside corner by Ryan Doherty. Quickly ahead in the count is the pitcher, 0-2, looking for a 1-2-3 inning here. Dawkins in the on-deck circle, and the pitch. He got him, struck him out. Cribben knew it. He's going back to the dugout. That's strikeout number 2 in the game for Ryan Doherty. So Stamford, no runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left on base. We'll be back with a top of 3, and your score remains 1-0 Stamford with a run back in the first inning. More action coming your way in just a moment.
President Roosevelt signed the Bill of Rights.
I've always appreciated the American Legion.
My gratitude to the American Legion.
Thank you all of the American Legion.
Well, we have millions of veterans that are members of our organization.
Thank you.
The American Legion, celebrating a legacy of service to America. Find out more at legion.org. The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5.
All right, we come back here to the top of the third inning, and leading things off is Jake Pisano. Hit a fly ball out to center his first time. So he meets Matt Tiplady for the second time here in the contest, 0 for 1. Pisano, Osborne, and Beelan, the scheduled hitters. So getting to the heart of that Hamden batting order in the first pitch in there for the strike from the lefty. Outfield remains just about straight away if you're just tuning in. Run on the first for Stamford, because Waldy with a 2-out base hit to drive home a run. Stolen base had set him up. Pisano on the year, batting at .379. 27 hits and 8 RBIs for Jake. That pitch just missed inside, and the count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pisano out of Hamden High School, graduating 2021. So he's got great size for a young guy. It's all right. I mean, he's bearded and everything else, so. Big, strong guy. 6'3", 196. Tiplady looking in for the sign. The count is 2 balls and 2 strikes, and the lefty's offering. Curveball, chopped right back to Tiplady, and the left-handed throw over to Gambino. Had to stretch that body of his a tad, and Pisano retired 1-3. And you have 1 out here to start the top of the third inning. Brings up Tyler Osborne with 1 down and nobody on. Osborne out of the College of St. Rose, graduated in 2018 from high school. Beautiful campus. Curveball from Tiplady, catches the outside corner. He's been working on the outside part of the plate against these right-handed hitters and done a nice job. You got 1 out, nobody on base here in the top of the third inning. This game was delayed twice for a half hour each time due to a lightning sighting in the area. Didn't appear to be very close here to Separate Field. We only had a light sprinkle. I mean, very, very light. Not enough to even water 1 blade of grass. Pitches popped up. Second baseman over. Skog backpedaling, and he'll make a catch and go stumbling down. That's just an athletic catch. He had to be quick of foot. Good crossover there to make the play and stayed with it. And Osborne is retired on a pop fly. And you have 2 down. Brings up Henry Beelan, who struck out his first time. So Beelan to the plate with 2 down and nobody on. Hamden through the first 2 innings, stranding 5 players. They had 2 on in the first, couldn't come up with a key hit as Tiplady came up with a strikeout to end that threat. They had the bases loaded with 2 outs and didn't do much in the second. Warriors will feel that. The third baseman guns it along, and that's a 1-2-3 inning for Matt Tiplady. If you score at home, that goes at 5-3. So we're going to pause. We'll be back with the bottom of the third. And your score is still 1-0 Stamford with the lead right here on SportingNewsCT.com. Stay with us.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
The American Legion. We're veterans.
All right, welcome right back as we continue with our coverage of American Legion baseball. Leading things off, Jaden Dawkins for Stamford. He's a number 9 hitter in the lineup. Top of the order, Skog and Wainwright to follow versus Ryan Doherty. Doherty got him 1-2-3 in the second. Only run scored back in the first by Stamford after the walk. Scarrad stole a base, driven home with 2 outs on the base hit by Anthony Gesualdi. That's the difference in the contest thus far. And the pitch is down low, just above the knee for the strike call. From our perch here, we can get a great view of home plate. That's a swing and a miss. Quickly, the count goes 0-2 to Dawkins. Doherty's pitch just missed outside, and the count goes 1 ball, 2 strikes. So try to cut that over the plate. Pitch to Dawkins, and he drives a line drive out the left field for a base hit. That's a good bit of hitting on a 1-2 count by Dawkins. He becomes the first leadoff base runner in the game for Stamford, and it comes here in the 3rd inning. That's their second hit. So each team with 2 hits in the game. Remember, they stole a base off of Doherty. That set up the game's only run. So they'll try to keep Dawkins tight to the bag there if they can. One on and nobody out here in the 3rd. Pitch missed outside. Dawkins, who's on first base, will graduate in 2020. High fastball, swing and a miss. Noah Skog grounded out 4-3 his first time. Out of West Hill High School, recent graduate. Throw to the bag at first, and Dawkins got back over there in plenty of time. Doherty looking in for the sign. Nods the head. DeRoche will set the target. The runner will go, and the pitch, strike call, throw on down, not in time. That's another stolen base. Second stolen base in the game by Stamford. And they're stealing off the pitcher right now. The jumps have been outstanding, both by Scarrad for his stolen base. Now Dawkins in the scoring position. So you got a runner at second. Nobody out, and the pitch fouled off. Glanced off the catcher, DeRoche. Plate umpire will give him a little time. Come out and dust off home plate. Florio playing rather left in left field. Just got a report Southington will remain in the winner's bracket with a 4-1 win over Waterford at Rotary Field in South Windsor. There's a strikeout chasing a nasty curveball with Skog, and he's retired. That's the third strikeout of the game now. For Doherty's had a strikeout in every inning, brings up T.J. Wainwright with a fly ball out his first time. So runner in scoring position at second now with one down. That's a tough part of the batting order. As Wainwright digging in. Recent graduate from West Hill High School, 5'9", 180. Ball cracked high in the air to the center fielder. Pisano going back. He's on the run. He'll reach up and make a nice catch. They're going to tag the runner as the throw comes into Casillas. And good throw there by Pisano as he got it in quickly. And they may appeal. Let's see if they do or not. As Dawkins will take third on the long fly ball. They appeal and they say he did not leave early. So Wainwright pushes a runner just 90 feet away.
You got to be watching. Joke.
So it brings Scarad to the plate. He has walked and scored here today. Outfield straight away. Because Waldy in the on-deck circle. Part of the batting order did some damage. Back in the first inning, and the first pitch in there for the strike call.
Get the bat, Ryan.
Doherty looking in for the sign. Doherty, the left-hander. Pitch to the plate. Down low, and it breaks to the backstop, and a run will score. That was down in the dirt. And Dawkins will score, so they really manufacture that. The leadoff single by Dawkins. He steals second on the pitcher, takes third on a sac fly to center field, and then he scores on the wild pitch. And it is now a 2-0 lead. So Stamford has just taken advantage of opportunity here as we move on to the bottom of the third, deep into it with 2 outs and nobody on. Doherty, the left-hander, to deal. Here comes the 2-1. That pitch missed outside. Count goes 3 balls and 1 strike. Ryan Doherty, the left-hander. Gets a strike call. Count goes full 3-2. Scarad trying to influence the plate umpire's call to no avail. I've never seen that work, right? When you take a step down to the bag at first, you're usually called on back to take another hack at it. Doherty, 3-2. Pitch hit very high up in the air and foul behind us. Outfield remains straight away. Florio, Pisano. Vivenzio in the outfield from left to right. Ryan Doherty's pitch. Chopped over his head, could be trouble. Charged by Casillas. Throws on the first. A stretch over there by Beelan. And they're going to call him safe on a real bang-bang play at the bag at first. Beelan thought he had him. That was a close play. Scarad with good speed down the line. You knew it was trouble when it chopped over the head of the pitcher, and that's going to be ruled a base hit second of the inning. I think some folks are yelling for a replay. We're not there yet. Nor do I want to be part of that. Because Waldy, who has an RBI single, runner goes, throw on down by DeRoche, and it gets by Aceto, but backed up by Casillas, and that is the third stolen base by Stamford here today. They are just running effectively. Now they got a runner in scoring position. They're trying to open up a 3-run lead. And there's going to be a meeting on the mound right now to try to settle everything down. Stamford against the left-handed pitcher Ryan Doherty. They've had their way stealing bases thus far. Stole a base that led to a run on the first. Stole a base here in the third that led to a run. Now they got a runner in scoring position for a guy that's already drove home one. Count is 0-1 to Giswaldi. Gambino in the on-deck circle. So 2-0 is score here in the bottom of the third inning. Out of town, defending state champs Southington with a win over Waterford 4-1. They play in the winner's bracket game tomorrow. Waterford will play to stay alive. You got more baseball action coming your way in the north in a moment, and time is called by the plate umpire.
We go.
Both teams very spirited in their dugout right now. Anyone that doesn't think these young players don't take American Legion baseball seriously, they certainly do. It's highly competitive. Here comes a pitch. Missed inside, and the count goes level at 1-1 strike here to Giswaldi. Gambino in the on-deck circle. Ryan Doherty, a left-hander's fastball. Hit down to shortstop. Casilius will field it, the throw across a diamond. Beelan that time able to take it on a hop, and that's an athletic play by the first baseman there, and Giswaldi retired 6-3. But some damage is done. A run will come across the board on a couple of hits. 2 stolen bases also helped out. No errors and 1 left. All right, we'll be back with the top of the 4th inning. Stamford now has a 2-0 lead over Hamden.
The American Legion. We're veterans serving America.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We pledge ourselves to our veterans, our youth, a strong national defense, and Americanism. These 4 pillars shape our work and what we do for America. We work relentlessly within our 4 pillars of service, and we succeed. Go to Legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America. The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We pledge our...
All right, welcome right back as Ryan Doherty will lead things off here in the top of the 4th inning for Hamden. Now in a bit of a hole. They trail 2-0 to the Stamford team. Vivenzio to bat next as that ball fouled off, and DeRoche thereafter. So 6, 7, 8 in the batting order. Ryan Doherty, the pitcher, trying to help his own cause. Coming in the plate 0 for 1. He grounded out 4-3 his first time. Tiplity into the windup and the pitch. Missed outside. Tiplity got him 1-2-3 in the third. He's given up a couple of hits.
Good contact.
And here comes the offering, and that's going to be slash foul down the third base side by Ryan Doherty. Outfield remains just about straight away. Not too many defensive adjustments in the field for Stamford. That pitch hit slowly down to shortstop. Wainwright will charge it, throws, and safe at first, a hustling Ryan Doherty. So he legs it out for a base hit. That is the 3rd hit of the game for Hamden. That's an infield single, and that's just great hustle. And for the 2nd time in the game, Hamden now the leadoff base runner on base. 7-inning games here today, so got to start to go to work offensively if you're a Hamden fan, as Vivenzio steps up to the plate. He walked his first plate appearance, got a bit of a breeze blowing towards the outfield. And the pitch down low. Nice stop there. And the back to the bag at first. Just getting a leg in there. Doherty. Gambino. He thought he had him along with Scarad, who made that quick throw from behind home plate. It was close. Kevin Murray's going to come out and make sure everything was called just right. Plate umpire will agree. That was a close bang play at first. We've had a couple of those already. That was a great stop behind the plate by Scarad on a pitch down low. And the count goes 1 ball and no strikes. Vivenzio. Pitch to Julian and he bunts it foul. Hamden has not executed with their small ball game. Back in the first, a sacrifice bunt was popped up and caught for an out. So as they try to chip away here against Matt Tiplety, they've had some difficulties putting the bunts down. Count goes 1 ball and 1 strike. It's been Stamford's speed that has dictated the game thus far with the stolen bases. There's a bunt, another one fouled off. And the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. DeRocha, number 8 hitter in the lineup, is on deck. Tiplety here in the game has walked 2. He's hit 1 batter. Has a couple of strikeouts to his credit, and the lefty checks a runner at the bag at first. That's Doherty. The pitch up high, and the count goes even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wayers was charging from the bag at third despite the 2 strikes, so they continue to think Vivenzio is going to lay one down here. Doherty with a leadoff single at first base. Here comes the pitch, and it is bunted in the foul territory, and that will erase Vivenzio. Goes a strikeout there.
The catcher, Ronnie DeRoche.
Brings up Ronnie DeRoche, who was called out on strikes back in the third.
Come on, Ronnie. Come on, Ronnie.
So they got 1 on, 1 out. Strike call to DeRoche, let her high. Number 9 hitter Mike Aceto in the on-deck circle for this Hamden team. Tiplety likes the sign, checks a runner. Well, the difference in the game thus far has been the ability to execute. Stamford has done it. Hamden hasn't as of yet. Hamden had 2 on, 1 in scoring position, obviously, back in the first. They had the bases loaded in the second and came up empty. That pitch up high. Already to lean away from that bag at first. Count 2 balls and 1 strike. And the pitch popped up. Shortstop will call for it. Wainwright on the infield dirt will make the catch. And he got 2 down here in the inning, and it brings up Michael Aceto, who was hit by a pitch his first plate appearance.
Mike Aceto.
So Aceto to step in. A little bit later on, we got Naugatuck and Cheshire battling. Looking forward to that. Here's the pitch, down low. West Hartford and Bristol to play. 4 o'clock start in South Windsor. Their first game is over already. They did not have any problems with weather. We had about an hour delay with 2 different lightning sightings. Pitch popped up, foul play, and it's going to be out of play. On top of the dugout on the first base side, the home of Hamden. Stamford making their camp near the concession stand, so they got the good dugout over there. If you want to trot on over, order a hot dog or a like, you can grab that. Maybe a Gatorade, maybe the drink of choice today. Get those electrolytes. Here comes the pitch, curveball, chop slowly, charged by Skog. He'll throw on the first, and that'll do it. Aceto retired 4-3. So in the inning, no runs. He had the leadoff single by Doherty, but he just remained right there. No errors, and 1 left on base. Hamden now, through 4 innings of play, has stranded 6. We'll be back with the bottom of the 4th. It remains a 2-0 lead in favor of Stamford over Hamden.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
All right, welcome back. Joe Gambino to lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Paul Iverson of American Legion Baseball here in Connecticut to my left. We'll have to get Paul on for an inning at some point here and talk about all the great things he has done for American Legion Baseball and some of the causes that he's directly behind here in the state of Connecticut. I know he's extremely proud of all those, so we'll do that at some point here. That's a promise to you, Paul. We'd love to do that. Gambino to lead it off here in the bottom of the fourth inning against Ryan Doherty. Stamford with a 2-0 lead. They scored a run in the first. They added a run in the third inning. Doherty has had just one relatively easy inning as he got him 1-2-3 in the second. And Gambino struck out his first time. Out of town, as we reported, it was a win for the defending state champs. Southington 4-1. Winning pitcher was Nick Borkowski. Borkowski the win. Jeremy Mercier picked up the save. The losing pitcher was Peyton Sutman for Waterford in that 4-1 game. Jake Romano was a hitting star for Southington with a 2 RBI base hit in that contest to put the game out of reach. So some details coming from my buddy Steve Riley, who's in South Windsor today. And Doherty's pitch to the plate, and that ball is struck towards right center field and in for a base hit. Pisano will field it there. And for the second consecutive inning, a leadoff base runner for Stamford. And they've been able to put runners in scoring position by stealing bases.
Designated hitter, Shane Hackett.
So that is going to be the fourth hit of the game. They're out hitting Hamden now 4-3. Hackett to the plate, grounded out 5-3 his first time. Doherty coming in without a loss to his record here in 2019. Checks a runner at first. The pitch to the plate, and that is popped up and out of play off to our right. Nice crowd on hand here. Obviously, the combatants for Game 2, Cheshire and Naugatuck, are in the house, and they're scheduled to play at 4 o'clock. I don't know if that's going to happen. If it does, it will be somewhat of a miracle with that hour weather delay that we had. But it's going to be pretty close, I get a feeling. Curveball hangs very high, and the count goes 1-1. Florio remains in left field for Hamden. Pisano, the center fielder. Vivenzio in right field. Casilius and Aceto, the middle infielders, at short and second, respectively. And the pitch to the plate and swinging at a pitch up high was Hackett. Just couldn't hold off for that one. And count goes 1-2. Of course, you have Beelan at the bag at first and Osborne at third. DeRoche behind the plate. Doherty from the set into the windup. Down low. Count goes even at 2-2. It has just turned out to be just a gorgeous day here in Meriden. Folks here at Suppa Field have made us feel very comfortable. Line drive right to Osborne. Snares it, throws that ball across the diamond. with some authority, but Gambino able to scramble on back. Hackett hit it pretty good, but Osborne was just tall enough to get it. And he got an out with one on.
Keep close, Ryan. Come on, keep firing.
And brings up Matt Weers to the plate. Weers hit a fly ball to the left fielder his first time. Might have been wind blowing a tad as Florio had to chase it to kind of shallow left center. So shortstop was going out. He couldn't get to it. Center fielder no chance. And Florio went a long way to get that ball. 1 ball, no strikes to count. Cribben in the on-deck circle. And Doherty's pitch popped up to the backstop. That'll be retrieved by the coaching staff of Stamford. Stamford team very confident. Right now they have the 2-0 lead. They've had a lot of success over the last half decade or so in American Legion play, and that pitch over the outside corner for the strike call. Pretty pitch by Doherty, gets ahead of the hitter, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Keep an eye out, Ryan.
There's 0 for 1 at the plate.
Keep him close.
Pisano, the center fielder, strolling around as Doherty checks a runner at first. Here comes the pitch. Curveball hit down to second, fielded by Aceto. They get the out at the bag at second. Silius doesn't have a throw. Couldn't find an angle with Gambino barreling towards the bag there. So Wares will reach on the fielder's choice. Gambino retired 4-6.
Robert Cribben.
That brings up Cribben, who struck out his first time.
Let's get the batter, Ryan.
So here in the bottom of the 4th, Cribben to the plate for the second time in the game. Doherty checks a runner at first base. Pitch up high. Gambino back to the bag. Long look in by Ryan Doherty. Doherty again checks the runner. Good long look there. He'll throw over. Beelan had to scurry away from the base to go get it. He's had a workout there at first base as Henry here today. Doherty leaning in for the sign. Nods the head. DeRoche will set the target. They want the pitch outside. It's high and outside. Osborne, the third baseman, playing maybe a step or 2 behind the bag there. Casilius, the shortstop, shaded towards second somewhat. And the pitch, a little high. Count goes to 3 balls and no strikes. The Robert Cribben. Doherty trying to get his team back into the dugout and to the plate. It gets a strike call here, and the count goes 3 balls, 1 strike. The pitch they should eliminate in baseball, the 3-0 pitch. It's always called strike. Doherty fouled off. Count goes full 3-2. Good job by Ryan Doherty to get back into the count here. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first. Gambino with the leadoff single, still there at first base. Pivenzio, right fielder, rather deep with a left-handed hitter, Cribben. Runner goes, ball popped up behind home plate. DeRoche with the mask off, and there's no chance to get that. It's up off the backstop.
Right, let's get the batter, kid.
Count remains full at 3-2.
Fire, kid, fire.
Aceto playing second base back at the edge of the outfield grass. Doherty leaning in. Been a long at bat here. Doherty's 3-2. Comes right at him and just missed inside. That's ball 4. Couldn't get the strike call there, and that's going to put runners at first and second with 2 down for Stamford. And brings up the number 9 hitter, Jaden Dawkins, who singled and scored back in the 3rd. That is just a second walk issued by Doherty here today. So Stamford with 2 on and 2 out. They produced with a couple of outs here in this contest. One of their runs came home on a wild pitch. That was Dawkins who scored. He singled, stole a base, took third on a long fly ball to center field, and a wild pitch brought home the insurance run here for Stamford. Doherty checking the runners at first and second. And the offering. Got the strike call. Let her high outside part of the plate. And Doherty gets ahead of the hitter 0-1. Wants to work quickly. Dawkins will oblige. Tall right-handed hitter. Left fielder today for Stamford. And time called. And I believe they called a balk, and they do. That's going to put 2 in the scoring position. And they're going to ask, what did he do?
How's the base coaches not seeing it?
So the plate umpire calling it. It was difficult. I couldn't tell. So no pitch. The count's going to go, I believe, back to 0-1. Now you got 2 in scoring position for Dawkins, who already has a base hit here today. And between the stolen bases and the balk now, and a wild pitch, there's been a lot of free advance.
Go at it, Ryan. Get mad now. Let's go.
For Stamford in this contest. Doherty, the pitch, missed outside. We're here in the bottom of the 4th. If you're just tuning in, running the first inning, and Shuren's running the 3rd up on the board for Stamford here at Seppa Field. Doherty comes at him with the heat. It's to the backstop. I don't know if he mixed up the catcher there, and another run will score. Gambino crosses home.
Focus, kid. Come on.
And it's going to be another wild pitch, as I believe he just crossed up his catcher. 2 runs are scored on a wild pitch here in this game now. For Stamford, they open up a 3-0 lead. Doherty's pitch. Strike call. That's strike 2. Count goes 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stamford has scored 2 runs now without the benefit of a base hit. Pitch down low, and the count's going to go full at 3-2. You got a runner at the bag at 3rd, and Cribben. He walked to get on. A balk push in the 2nd. The wild pitch to 3rd. Swing and a miss, and the strikeout of Dawkins. So that is the 4th strikeout of the game. But another run put up on the board. 1 run on just 1 hit, as the balk certainly and the wild pitch hurt. And they leave 1 on the bases. We'll be back with the top of 5. It's all Stamford right now. It's going their way, and they have the lead at 3-0. We'll be back with more in just a moment.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
Well, we'll be back with those fine messages from American Legion and all they do for veterans and, of course, the youth and everybody here in America. We thank our veterans for all the protection throughout the years and the protection to come for our wonderful country. This is Casillas at the plate. He has singled twice. He's quickly behind 0-2 here. Tiplety got out of a bit of a jam. Runner in scoring position in the 1st with a strikeout. With the bases loaded, he got a ground ball out in the 2nd inning. Hamden has stranded 6 here in the game. Pitch hit high in the air, shallow right field. Right fielder coming on. Gets Waldy fighting off a little sun, and on a windblown ball, able to adjust and make the catch. Casilius retired here for the first time in the game. So 1 out in the top of the 5th. It brings up Cullen Florio. Florio is 0 for 2. Tried to lay down a sacrifice bunt and popped it up, and the catcher made a magnificent play on it behind home plate. Juggling catch by Scarratt as he laid out for it. Then he grounded out 6-3. Tiplety has allowed just 3 hits in the game. Stamford with a total of 4 in the contest. They have scored 3 runs, 2 on a wild pitch. Pisano in the on-deck circle for Hamden. Our next game is Naugatuck and Cheshire. Pitch hit very high to the infield. Coming on, calling and taking charge is Wainwright, the shortstop, and to the first base side of the infield, he makes the play. Florio retired on a very highly hit ball, and now you have 2 down. It brings up Jake Pisano. He's 0 for 2 is Jake. Tiplety is settling down rather nicely. No threat in the 4th. He had the leadoff single by Doherty, but he was stranded there at first base. So that's 5 in a row retired now by Matt Tiplety, and the windup and the curveball here right back to him. And that's going to be an easy 1-2-3 inning as a soft toss over to Gambino, and Hamden is done in the top of 5. We'll be back with the bottom of the 5th. Stamford in control with a 3-run lead.
May I have your attention, please, ladies and gentlemen? Will you please rise and offer a moment of silence?
The American Legion. We're veterans serving America. The American Legion. We're veterans serving America.
All right, welcome right back as we move on here to the bottom of the 5th inning. We'll bring Paul Iverson on for just a moment here. And, Paul, I know that you've been doing some great things for American Legion Baseball, really behind the scenes as we welcome Paul Iverson. Paul, congratulations, another year of some terrific fundraising for American Legion.
Yeah, thank you, Don. It was another spectacular year for folks that don't know. About 5 years ago, the baseball committee took it mission to give back to our veterans, and as such, we picked the National American Legion program, Operation Comfort Warriors, and thanks to our committee, our programs, Legion Posts, Friends of American Legion Baseball, through last year, the first 4 years, we raised $26,000, and this year we continued that, and I can tell you that this year we will give them a check for another $8,000 from Connecticut American Legion Baseball.
Is it too late for folks to still get involved and contribute?
Absolutely not, because if not included in this year's check, we'll just include it in the contribution we give them. I have the honor and opportunity to take the check, and I will present it this year at the World Series in Shelby when we're down there, hopefully on Military Appreciation Day.
It's certainly terrific work and a lot of hard work. As leading things off is Skog. He pops it up behind home plate, and DeRoche will put it away, and you get one out here in the top of the 5th inning. You know, Paul, you talk about, you're a veteran. You've been through it all, and you've seen the plight of many folks who have. It's been very difficult for them to come back and adjust and be part of the community, and American Legion has helped out so many.
Absolutely, and you know there are great organizations out there doing good work for veterans. So you know, everybody's trying to do the right thing, and the American Legion Operation Comfort Warrior is one more of them. The benefit for contributions to our program is there is no admin cost. So every dollar goes to a veteran because National American Legion administers the program and takes care of everything. So it works out really well.
What's the awareness, and how does a veteran who's in need, how do they find out about these programs that are out there, similar to what you're talking about?
Well, the first opportunity would be through their local post, Legion Post or VFW Post. You know, they all have a service officer who's more than willing to help them. They can certainly contact the VA here in Connecticut. There are people lined up just waiting to help veterans that need help.
It's TJ Wainwright at the plate, but 3-1 the count.
So a phone call, and if they don't know, like I say, contact you know, someone in their town, veteran, and we'll make sure that you know, they get hooked up with someone.
Wainwright draws a walk here with one out in the bottom of the 5th. Paul Iverson is joining us here for this half inning, and there's so many messages and great stories to tell. You know, baseball, it's thought of as American Legion, you know, biggest event, but it's really not. It's all about the veterans and the families of veterans and what they can do, and the scholarships that are awarded to youngsters that are moving on to high school also.
That's a very good point, Don. You know, we sit here and we worry about baseball and we enjoy baseball, and it's great. And what National American Legion does for these kids from a baseball perspective is really incredible. For those that have been fortunate enough, and we've got a team standing here in Stamford that have been able to go to the regional. We've had sent teams to the World Series. We're the only youth organization that when we hit our national tournament, we take care of it. We take care of their transportation to and from. We take care of the hotels. We give them some meal money, but we try to do it right.
And you certainly do. And the crowds are overwhelming when you make it to Shelby. It is a big deal, isn't it? I've never been. I got to go one of these years.
Everybody who's involved in this should try to go at least once, because
the right fielder,
the show they put on and the way they treat the players, the teams, the parents, those that come down there is just incredible. It's first class, and to me their motto is, we can't do enough for you, and they clearly don't.
Scarad just struck out. This brings up Gesualdi has an RBI single back in the first inning. This game moving quite right along after that hour-long delay we had due to the weather.
Yeah, and no rain. You know, once we got by the first lightning delay, and then of course we had the thunder delay as we were just getting back on the field. But it's frustrating, especially you know, when you look at the sky and you don't see that. But the rules are there for the safety of the players, the coaches, the umpires, and others, and we'll follow those rules. But you know, it's a little hard when you know that you know, you could be a little farther along.
Absolutely. We could be in the game, too. Warm-ups right now. Big swing and a miss, and count goes 1 ball and 2 strikes. How about the quality of play here in 2019? You know, the zones have shifted around. The participation in some towns has changed a little bit, and it's made for some quick thinking by committee members for Connecticut American Legion Baseball. Big swing and a miss there, and we can kind of leave it with that. And I know you have other duties to take care of, but the health of it, where it's going in the future, and the adjustments you've needed to make.
Yeah, I think, Don, we had to make some you know, decisions this year, and we did. We did rezone. We had a number of, you know, smaller programs that chose to combine, and we believe from what we've seen so far through this season that those changes to enhance, strengthen some of those programs and reducing our zones from 8 to 6. Looking at the results showed that it increased, in most cases, the competitive nature, which is where we want to be in Legion baseball. We want to be back to the most competitive games day in and day out. And at least year one, we got a ways to go. It looks like we've achieved some of those objectives, and we just need to, keep moving forward. And Legion baseball in Connecticut will continue to be strong, solid, and provide these young kids a great opportunity, not only to play ball, but to learn life's lessons and be able to move on to the next level. And it's not just baseball. It's life, it's college, it's careers, it's families.
Do you worry at all? I mean, you look at David Greenleaf and Greg Zimmerman, who was a state director at one time, and, David Farr and Paul LaFleur, yourself, Paul Iverson, Timmy Vincent. We're all getting, I'm getting a little long on this too. I've been associated with you guys for quite some time now. To get some of that youthful infusion and to carry on the tradition and the hard work you guys have put in. What's that objective? How's that working?
That's probably the more difficult challenge because we've had some success in some programs that have, where someone's been there a long time, has retired, and there has been a younger person or core of people have come in and kind of picked it up, and you didn't lose a beat. But we need to do more of that. We need to encourage younger players, younger people get involved, and quite honestly, I think we need to encourage past players to come back, get involved in Legion baseball, and give back. And we've got, as I said, many programs in the state where there are assistant coaches, if not head coaches, that did come through Legion baseball, came back to their programs, and they're doing a great job because you're right. The rest of us are getting old, but it's a challenge. We need to keep working with it, and it takes a ton of effort by the local organizations and posts, and unfortunately, the post people are getting older too, and it makes it a little more difficult. But without challenges, it'd be way too easy, and it never should be easy.
You're right. It has to be hard work. It is hard work, and it's dedication of time, and really love of the sport too, which is so important. We're here in the top of the sixth inning. Tyler Osborne with a fly ball out. This is Beelan at the plate. He's 0 for 2, and Hampton's starting to run out of some time here. They've just been kind of beaten up here a little bit by Stamford's speed overall.
Yeah, especially that one inning, the speed really showed, and the opportunities they did have had people in scoring position. They just couldn't get the hit that they needed, or we could be sitting here 2-2 right now very easily.
2 balls and 2 strikes to Henry Beelan. Out on the mound is Matt Tiplety doing a terrific job trying to go all the way. That ball hit high in the air to the left field. It's going to hang out there, and Dawkins will come on and make the catch, and you get 2 down. And, you're seeing an influx of the younger kids who come up through the 15U, 17U, and the guys, maybe start a little bit later at the 19U base, American Legion, the old traditional way, right, in some regards. And I guess what I'm getting at, I love to see some of these college players come back and teach what is right and wrong about preparing for a baseball game.
Yeah, absolutely right, Don. And, quite honestly, whether it's a college freshman coming back who now has, especially if they played in school, they've got a different perspective on what it takes to be a team member, a good team member, what it takes to succeed, the kind of work you have to put in. And when they can come back, to their home program and mix in with some of the seniors and juniors who have played a lot in high school, that leadership is unquestionably critical to maintaining and growing programs, because young guys learn by watching TV, and sometimes it's always not the best view, and they learn from watching the older guys they play with. And if they can come back and help and do it right, that bodes well for the younger kids and where the program is going.
Well, Hamden just went 1-2-3. Paul, I want to thank you for joining us here for an inning and a half and talk a little bit about American Legion baseball. You're going to be here for the next few days, so we'll have to do this again. Let's do that. Absolutely.
Let's please do that. Make one before I go.
Any as you want. You can stay forever if you want.
No, I find it unique and somewhat interesting to be sitting here today with Stamford and Hamden playing. We have Hamden over here who have been playing hard for Coach Garino.
Yes, indeed.
As he fights his battle with cancer. And 2 years ago, July 14th, Stamford lost their longtime leadership with Chris Sabia passed away from cancer at way too young of an age. So to have these two teams playing a great game today with similar understanding and things that have happened to them, it really kind of brings things back and say, what's one of the great things about Legion baseball? It's things like this. You know, they build families and they rally around them, and it's great to see.
Absolutely, Paul. That's well said. And I'm glad you brought that up. I did mention it earlier, but you just was very eloquent with the way you put that off. And if you folks haven't seen it, Paul did a terrific Hall of Fame speech when he was inducted into the Connecticut American Legion Hall of Fame. We have that online on SportingNewsCT.com, so you can go back and see that too. So great job, Paul.
Thank you very much, Don.
We'll take a quick break. Back with the bottom of the sixth. Good.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion.
Well, that certainly was a delight to have Paul Iverson alongside. Someone heard the name Iverson. He goes, I'm an Iverson, but I'm from West Haven. Paul Iverson, Paul Iverson from American Legion Baseball, is originally from Minnesota. All right, it's Gambino to lead it off here. He singled and scored on a wild pitch. As Ryan Doherty out to work the sixth inning. We have not had a pitching change here today. 3-0 Stamford with the lead if you're just tuning in. And Paul is so dedicated, Paul Iverson, to American Legion Baseball and the veterans and the future of our youth. That's a really dedicated man and well-decorated. It's Paul Iverson. It was nice to have him on. We'll have him a few other times. There's a ball smash high and deep, right center field. That's going to carry all the way to the fence. Going to be chased down there by Venzio, and he got to it quickly enough with a good relay throw to Aceto. That'll be a long double for Joe Gambino, his second hit of the ball game. And he's in scoring position here in the sixth inning.
The designated hitter.
That is a base hit. That'll be the fifth hit of the game here, as we'll update that for you. I think I put it in the wrong spot. There we go, fifth hit of the game. 3-0 your score, so I do apologize, hit the wrong button. Here's Hackett, the designated hitter, who is 0 for 2. Hackett, the right-handed hitter, will take that pitch down low for a ball. Stamford scored a run in the first. They added a run in the third and one in the fourth. The one in the first scored on a Gesualdi RBI base hit with 2 outs. The run in the third came home on a wild pitch. The one in the fourth came home on a wild pitch. Stamford trying to put a stamp on this one and stay in the winner's bracket side of things tomorrow during our coverage here from the South Super Regional. We'll have games tomorrow from the North. At least one. Steve Riley does have a commitment. I'll talk to Steve and see what we can do about getting game 2 covered for you in the North Super Regional tomorrow. Doherty with the count 2-1. Pitch to the plate, going to be popped up and fouled off to the first base side. Hackett, the designated hitter. Hamden has had some chances in this game, but I'll tell you what, over the last 3 innings or so, Matt Tiplety, who has worked the first 6 for Stamford, has retired 9 in a row after a leadoff single to Doherty way back in the 4th inning now. Count is full, 3-2. Runner in scoring position at second with nobody out, and time has been requested. Many feel Stamford and Cheshire will be the 2 teams competing to represent in the championship best 2 of 3 series next weekend. Southington is another team. They'll be coming out of the South if they were to hold on. They won earlier today, 4-1 over Waterford. As that is a foul ball out. Hit long down the left field side. Looked like it went in the foul play, but Florio made the catch on it. That's the important thing. So we'll put it in the foul territory from this point of view here, and you got one out. Weir's now stepping up to the plate. Matthew today has reached on the field his choice. And it looks like we're going to see a pitching change for Ryan Doherty with 103 pitches. So innings pitched don't mean as much as pitches pitched. And 103 for Doherty, he'll come out. The limit is 105, and we're going to see a pitching change here and some other things taking place, positional changes perhaps also. So we'll take a break. We'll get all that for you here in the bottom of the 6th inning as Doherty will leave trailing by the score of 3-0.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
Not only have I learned a lot of speaking skills,
Meeting these 50 other incredibly talented people,
But most of all, I think you learn a lot about yourself.
you're able to grow in so many ways.
Learning about public speaking.
you also gain a tremendous amount of friendships.
It's a nice bonus.
That's definitely a plus, I'm not going to lie.
Is definitely something that is on my mind.
It's such a great document.
It guarantees me so many liberties and freedoms.
It's looking out for me.
The significance that I place on voting.
The 8th Amendment, which deals with cruel and unusual punishment.
My comparison of the Constitution to a lens.
All right, welcome back. So out in the pitcher's mound is Cullen Florio. Shepard has moved to left field, and Doherty has gone on the right field.
The center fielder.
That is the changes for Hamden with the pitching change. Quick ground ball out of Wares, and you have 2 down. And it brings up Matt Wares. Wares is out. And it brings up Cribben here. Cribben has walked and struck out here today in the pitch. Just missed inside for ball 1. Leadoff double by Gambino. He's still at the bag at second. Florio's pitch. Got it by him. Count goes to 1 strike. Jaden Dawkins, the number 9 hitter in the lineup for Stamford in the on-deck circle. He's a good number 9 guy. He's almost like a leadoff guy the way he plays out there. Stamford team with tons of experience here in Super Regional play over the last few years. It's been a long time for Hamden. We're going to have to look at the record books and try to figure out the last time they had a chance to play in a Super Regional. And I don't remember too many times in the 14 years or so that we've been covering American Legion play, although I do not have the greatest memory. I will admit that readily. That is fouled off. Count 2 strikes. The Cribben. Got baseball coming your way a little bit later on from Rotary at about 4 o'clock. We'll have some, at some point here, looks like our game time will be delayed somewhat. Count goes full 3-2. You got 2 down, runner at the bag at second. And the pitch. That's a strike call, and that will end the inning. Cribben was starting down in the bag at first, and he's called out on strikes, and that will be the first strikeout for Florio here today. So in the innings, no runs. You had the 1 hit. There were no errors and 1 left on base. Stamford now in the game has stranded a total of 5. We'll be back with the top of the 7th. Last call for Hamden here. And they have 7, 8, and 9 coming to the plate. We'll take a break. Back with the top of the 7th right after this.
The American Legion. We're a powerful force for the nation. We're the largest veteran service organization in the nation, with 2.5 million members. And when you add to that the American Legion Auxiliary and the Sons of the American Legion, we have a family of 4 million members, working hard every day for our veterans, our youth, and our communities. Go to legion.org to find out more about the American Legion's commitment of service to America.
All right, welcome right back as we move on to the top of inning number 7. Hamden coming to the plate, and Ethan Shepard, who's now playing left field, to lead things off. Hamden knows what they need to do. They need to score 3 times to potentially force extra innings. So Shepard against the pitcher, Matt Tipledy, and Tipledy will win the race over the bag at first, and Shepard is retired. 3 unassisted on the putout, 1 down. That is now 10 in a row retired by Matthew. He's done a terrific job. The last hit he's given up of the 3 in the game was in the 4th inning, the leadoff single to Ryan Doherty. It was the first 2 innings in which Hamden had some chances to plate a run. The bases loaded in the second, couldn't come up with a key hit. And in the first, they had a runner in scoring position at second. DeRoche to the plate. He's 0 for 2 as the big catcher for Hamden. It is a double elimination tournament, so no tears to be shed. You have a chance coming out of a loser's bracket tomorrow. Hamden will play the loser of Naugatuck and Cheshire. Tipledy, a masterful performance here today. Missed outside, the count is 0-2. He has just shut the door. Comes with a fastball and strikes him out. That is his 4th strikeout of the game. His first since the 4th inning. So now you have 2 down. It brings up Mike Aceto to try to keep things in a line. He's been hit by a pitch and grounded out here today. First pitch is ball 1. Casillas on deck, the leadoff hitter for this Hamden team. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Tipledy's pitch up a tad high, and the count goes 3 balls, no strikes. Cito trying to open up a gate somehow for this Hamden team and give them a chance. That pitch down the middle for the strike is the pitch they need to eliminate in baseball with its pitch counts at 3-0. It's always a strike call. Nobody swings at it, just call it a strike. Here comes the pitch, foul straight back. Coaching staff from Hamden from Stamford getting a workout here going after those foul balls here today. Count is full at 3-2. They call him Tip. He's on the mound with a big sigh. And the left-hander trying to complete the deal here today. A little high ball 4. He's going to have to pitch to another. So Hamden with a 2-out base runner. There's only the 3rd walk issued by Tipledy today. He's also hit a batter. Casillas, who's 2 for 3, coming up to the plate now with 2 down. So a little bit of hope for Hamden. And the pitch missed outside. Nobody warming up in that Stamford bullpen that I can see unless they're outside the fence somewhere hiding. Tipledy trying to go all the way. Do not know what his pitch count is. Pitch hit high up in the air. in fair play over the second baseman, and Skog will put it away, and Stamford will remain in the winner's bracket with a nifty 3-0 win over Hamden here today. The winning pitcher going all the way, Matt Tipledy. Tipledy allowed just a total of 3 hits here in the game. Had a total of 4 strikeouts. He walked 3 and hit a batter, and just a masterful performance. Got out of trouble in the first and in the second when Hamden had runners in scoring positions. Did not allow a run. The losing pitch will be Ryan Doherty, and he was just victimized by the speed of Stamford in the first inning. A stolen base with 2 outs by Scarad put him in scoring position after he had walked. It was Anthony Gaswaldi with an RBI single with 2 outs to bring home the first run. Another run added in the third inning after the leadoff single by Dawkins. He stole a base, was moved along on a fly ball out, and then scored on a wild pitch, and that made it 2-0. And then the run that kind of put it out of reach after the leadoff single by Joe Gambino. Gambino was moved along on a balk, and fielder's choice, and scored on a wild pitch. So that certainly hurt Ryan Doherty's efforts here today. Cullen Florio worked 2/3 of an inning and got 2 outs in a relief effort for Hamden. You know, for Doherty, he had the strikeout pitch going today. He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 strikeouts to go along with the 3 walks, but the wild pitch most certainly hurt. Both teams will play tomorrow. We'll find out in a bit who they will play. So Stamford 3 and Hamden 0. Thanks for tuning in here today on SportingNewsCT.com. I'm guessing 45 minutes from now, close to 4:30, we'll have a start time for you for Naugatuck and Cheshire. So come on back for that. Thanks for tuning in. Goodbye, everybody.